everybody and welcome back. I'm here to continue working on my Lapbook. Now in the last video I had started to build the right hand side and I'd kind of pieced some things together, but I needed to do some sewing which I've done off camera, and I'm now ready to kind of get everything kind of stuck into place. So what I'm going to do is just try and organise this back into the piles so that I know what's going where. So the only thing that's actually been stuck down is this. This is what we stuck down in the last video. Got all sorts of loose bits all over the place. So I think I'm just going to move anything that's not attached over to this side for a second. So that's not attached. That's paper clipped on, so that's not an issue. Right, so on this panel was where we were going to have this pocket. So if you remember, this one's been backed with a magazine just to make it a little bit more sturdier, and then I have sewn around the edge. The only thing I haven't done actually is inked this one. I seem to have inked everything else but not this one, so I'm just going to very quickly do that. I am leaving the file folder exposed in places. I'm not fussed about covering the whole thing up. I do quite like the file folder, so I'm not too fussed that you can see that on the outside of the pocket. I was debating whether I wanted to do some stamping on it or something. Do I want to stamp on it? I mean, I'm kind of thinking once you've got stuff stuffed in there, it's not going to matter too much. No, I think I'm just going to glue it down. So just using my glue, and I'm going to go quite heavy on the glue along where the stitching is. And obviously down the back. Something like that. And then I'm just going to try and go roughly for the middle. Okay, and then once it's roughly in the middle, I'm just going to fold it out just so I can press it down from the back. Okay, so that's that pocket. I think it's going to need a little bit of help. So I'm just going to grab a couple of clips. I think it's just where it's got that shiny material. So I'm just going to put a couple of clips into place, just to kind of hold that down while that glues. Okay, then this side was where I was going to have this file folder that flips out, and then behind that I was going to have somewhere these bits. So these were, this is actually a die I have. Obviously the papers are from the kit, but the die that creates the pocket and this, it's like a mini library card die, but I thought this kind of looks like the clocking in cards that you get from the old clock machines. So I thought they'd look quite cute up there. And then down the bottom, I was thinking of having these two kind of stacked a little bit. So these are file folders from a die that I have. And I just thought I need to ink the back of that one a little bit. Let's move this out of the way so I'm not inking all over that. Yeah, and then I was going to make these as little pockets. I'm just going to ink that side as well. I know you're not really going to see it. Yeah, so I was going to have those two kind of stacked like that. So you'll have the pocket of this file folder, the pocket of that one, and then I'm kind of debating whether I want to sort of behind this one, in between the two, make that a pocket as well. So you'd end up with three. No, I think I'll just keep it as the two actually. I think that will just make it much easier. So let's have a look. So if it's glued about there, I'm going to do it side by side. And then lift up this half and glue that down. Yeah, and then hopefully that's straight. Yeah, looks it. So they're going to be my file folders. So all I'm going to do is just add some glue, obviously down these edges. Now while I did add stitching to some things, I didn't add stitching to everything. So these haven't got stitching on. And then some glue on this one. And that gives us the pockets. Now I'm just going to glue this whole back side down. And then these two I can stick down at the top. Right, so that's those two. And then this was going to be hinged with these, so I'd stuck the material on and done some sewing as well, but these were going to get sewn with these bits on this side. Maybe something like that. So I'm going to stick, first of all, move this out of the way. And I'm going to glue these onto the back. So the first thing I want to do is just find the middle. So I'm going to use the grid on here. So what have we got? 1, 2, 3, not quite 4 squares. So let's just bring it down so it is more in the middle. Okay, so that line there is kind of where the middle is. So that one wants to be on there. I'm just going to add my glue to the back. I'm going to add a little bit of glue to my fabric. And then line it up. Okay, so there's one, and then this one's going to go further up here, so let's have a look. I might maybe come down sort of 2 squares and on this one go up 2 squares, do it that way just so it's more evenly spaced. I mean, obviously this is a junk journal, it doesn't matter. Okay, before I glue it to anything else, I'm going to put that to one side and let that dry. Okay, I'm going to bring this back in, and I think actually, I was going to say I might need to use a different glue, but where it's been pinched, it has actually stuck, so it's just that corner. I'm just going to add a bit more glue to that bit. And under there, and I'm just going to put another clip right at the end then. Just to hold that in place, because I think it's just where it's shiny on the back. The glue isn't helping with the shininess, but that will just need a moment to dry. This is quite a fast drying glue. So that's that side. We open it up, and then we're about to attach this. So let's have a look. Let's do this panel then, I think, while we're waiting for other things to dry. So this was the other panel. So again, I've done some sewing about the place. All those clips need to stay on there, don't they? Everything's got clips on it. So this is going to get stuck down again. I'm just going to do it in a U shape along here. So that's going to be a pocket. I still haven't figured out what I want to do with these. I might have a little idea, but then on this side was where we had our pockets. So there's a pocket there, and there's a pocket there, and then there's another pocket there. So we've got our pockets ready to go on that one. Just wait for this to dry before I start that. So moving on again, we then have this side. So this is going to get stuck on here, and it's going to have a pocket. I haven't sewn this, but I have done some little sewing pieces on the pockets. On the pockets where I've done sewing, and on my envelope, and I'll explain the sewing of this in a moment. On the inside, I've put a little bit of tape over the stitching. It just kind of stops things from kind of then catching on the stitches when things go inside, and I've done the same on the pockets, so they've got tape on the back as well. I just think it kind of helps things out. So this pocket is going to go on here. The reason I didn't stick that panel down was because this was going to get stuck underneath. Yeah, this was going to get stuck underneath. Just making sure I've got this all right way. And then this one, this envelope was going to kind of come over the top and also kind of fold out. So I'm just going to open that up again, because this is going to be the bit that attaches on there to create the hinge. So this might have to go on first before I put the pocket on. Yeah. So before I do that bit, I'm going to glue this bit on, because that bit goes under this piece of paper. And I'm just going to aim roughly again for the middle, so there's an equal distance top and bottom. It doesn't really matter, but that's what I'm going to aim for. So bring in my glue. Right, so now that's stuck down. I'm going to try and be careful not to kind of pull on it or move it too much, but that's going to go there. This can then get stuck down, and I've already inked around that, so that's perfect. That can go down. Okay, and that just goes on there, and that hides then that flap that's attaching that one. Right, so that's that. Then, as I said, this pocket will be going on there, but I'm just going to move that over for a second because I need to get this done. So first thing I need to do is just glue this envelope together. Again, I've just done a little bit of inking just so that it's not stark white when you open it up. So I'm going to put a little bit down that side, a little bit down that side. And then pop those together. Then going to glue this. Oops. Okay, so that's my envelope. I will think of a closure for this in a minute as well. This was going that way up. So this shape is actually a die that I have. But I love it because it kind of gives me that edge as if it's been torn out of a book, which I really love. So I've got that. Right, then this needs to get glued on here. Now I'm just double checking. Yeah, this needs to get glued on here. Now it can go anywhere, it doesn't really matter where. I'm not going to have this dead in the center. I'm going to have this a little bit lower, I think. So I'm just going to put glue on here. And then pop that on here somewhere. Somewhere maybe about there. Okay. And obviously that goes that way. That'll go that way. Right, now to explain this. So I have sewn this on because inside this piece of fabric is a magnet. And then I've just got a rusty washer, which I thought worked really nicely. And what I'm going to do is glue that rusty washer to this side, and then that hopefully is going to hold this section closed. So I just need to figure out where exactly it's going to get stuck, or even which side I prefer, because that one's quite rusty, that side. So I might do it like that. So now I'll have to see if this glue is actually any good for this. If it's not, I'll have to come back with my Fabri-Tac, but I think it should be okay. So I'm just going to glue that on there and see how that holds. So while that's drying, let's come back to this side first, pull these off. That's better, that's more stable. Excellent, so that's that piece done. Right, now for this bit. Owl balls. I forgot about that, didn't I? I forgot about these tabs. Oh, you idiot, Suzanne. Because I don't kind of want them on this side now, do I? No. Oh, balls. That's a little bit annoying. Okay. Next plan. I'm going to shorten. Just going to shorten the middle one. And I'm going to try and carefully peel this off, which I know isn't going to work too well because this glue is really, really strong. I'm just going to do it enough to be able to get that under. So if you are following along, do not stick this bit down. Okay, so that's going to go there. Let's move that out of the way. Also got to lift these up. Okay, well at least that's enough for me to be able to at least squeeze these in. Right, hopefully problem fixed. Let's see. So I'm now going to glue these and wedge them under. Got too excited with the gluing, didn't I? I'm just sticking everything down. So that one goes under there, that one's going under that one. We're going to aim roughly for the middle. Something like that. Right, now to stick these back down. I think we might be okay. So that's that part. So we've got this that opens up, we've got this that opens up, then we've got pockets. Let's just check that we do actually still have pockets. Yeah, we've got a pocket that goes all the way along, we've got a pocket there that goes all the way along, and then obviously we've got those two at the top. Excellent, so that still works. Brilliant. Opening back up then, let's see how this has stuck. Oh, it has stuck. Excellent. So that doesn't bother me that you can see that because it's rusty, so it kind of goes in with everything else, but that just holds that closed. So that comes over. I'll have to think about a cluster or something to pop there. We've got some writing space. You open it up and then we were going to have some pockets. So I've got this pocket and this pocket. So these were going to go here and here. So let's get those stuck down, although actually I think these need inking. So we'll do that first. Oops. So let's get these stuck in. And then just thinking if that's down the bottom, I might lift this one up a little bit just so they look a little bit more sort of staggered. So that one's going to go there, and I'm going to have this one at the bottom. Move that one, get stuck down there. Right, so that's that area, so that goes that way, that goes that way, and the magnet holds everything closed. Excellent. Moving it back over, we then have this part to stick down here. So again, it's just going to be the 3 edges so that we've got a pocket. Okay, so that's going to get stuck there. So I now have a nice big pocket there at the back. Like I said, still not sure. See, I'm thinking of maybe doing some kind of top pocket for this one. These obviously have pockets, so that just needs ephemera going in there, doesn't it? So we'll leave that. But yeah, actually I'm quite liking how that goes together, and then that's how thick that side is, so that's quite good. That's come together quite nicely actually. Might just need to think about how I'm going to hold this together. At the moment this just obviously flaps open when you come to here, so I need to think about how that's going to stay closed. But I do like that with the magnet on. And I do need to think about this top pocket. Let's have a little look. So I made these clusters. I could actually have it that way around, couldn't I? Or do I make it like a belly band? Could make it a belly band, couldn't I? So if I just glue those 2 edges, and then something can slide up the middle. I think just to give it a bit more edge, if you like, I'm actually going to cut 2 sort of flaps that will come round just to give it a little bit more room. So let's see if we can find some scraps. Okay, so I've got this scrap of card, so I'm thinking I could use this on the back just to kind of reinforce it a little bit. So let's see, let's do it maybe 3/4 of an inch, shall we? Oh. Right, and then these bits I'm going to fold. Obviously going to ink. Give it a good burnish. And then again, I'm just going to move this over to the side for a second. And the side that's inked is the side that I'm gluing underneath, which I know probably doesn't make sense, but it's only because where I've got these eyelets, I want it looking kind of dark underneath. Oops. So this is going to get glued on here on the very edge. That's better. Okay, so I'm just going to glue that on the very, very edge. And do the same on the other side. Like that, and then this is going to get stuck on here, and then that just gives it more room, because if I'd have put glue down the sides, then obviously I'm narrowing the gap of something that I can fit down there. By having these, now I've got the whole width of this to actually fit something down there. So that's why I've done that, rather than just stick it down on either side. There is a method to my madness, I promise. Okay, and then just going to pop that on there, roughly in the middle, like that. Okay, so that's that one. I think the other one, like I said, I'm going to have a little think. I might do, because I kind of don't want to cover up, it might bring you into frame, that might help. So I don't want to cover up the faces, so maybe I'll do maybe a slanted pocket for this one. Let's have a look. Right, so we've got this. I could possibly use this, and actually this is the perfect kind of width as well. Plus I need a bit of a tab, so let's come over slightly and up. I'm just going to lift this up slightly, move it over there, just so we can work on the pocket. First thing I'm going to do is just get rid of that white. Right, so I've just straightened it out a little bit just to kind of help. So let's see what I need. Is about 1/2 inch on the bottom. That's going to be that flap. And then I'm pretty much coming to where the end of that train is, aren't I? So, what's the best way of doing this? So I'm going to try and use my scoreboard to line this up. So 2's coming down here. This is the 2 part. So I'm going to line up the 2 with the corner of that part, and I'm going to line up this corner also with the 2. in the hope that this will create my slanted pocket. Or do I actually want it going to a point? I might make it come up a little bit. No idea if this is going to work. We will see. Okay, so where that score mark is where I'm going to cut. Well, actually, I might fold it over because then it gives me a little bit of stability as well. I'm going to fold it over, but obviously snip off a little bit down here. So we've now got that shape. And then this part here, if we line it up with the 4, that's our fold that way. I'll just check that fits. I obviously have some trimming to do. Yeah, that's okay. So we obviously don't want it quite that wide, so I am just going to cut straight up there. It also means I can get rid of that bit there. Cut that at a slight angle and that at an angle. Then we can glue some stuff down. Oops. So that's going to be on the inside. We also need to ink. Right, so that's how the pocket's going to look. Let's get rid of these bits and we can get that one stuck in. Right, so I'm going to fold it that way just so I can press it down a little bit easier. Okay. Right, so that then is my slanted pocket. That way I'm not covering up any beautiful faces, but we have another pocket. So let's see, so we've got this long pocket down here. We've now got this slanted pocket here. We've now got a belly band there. That all works. We've obviously got these pockets here on that side. So that works all really well. We've then got this bit that's magnetised, comes out to the side. We've got a nice big envelope there. I will sort out a little closure there. Maybe I can use one of my clusters actually. Where have they gone? Buried under here. No, I think I might need a paper cluster. I'll find something else for that. So yeah, something's going to go there. This is a bit of writing space. That flips out. We've then got a pocket and a pocket. Yeah, happy with that. That's really good. So that's that. That folds that way. We've got that. And again, we've got pocket here, pocket in there, and then these two little journaling spots as well. Yeah, okay, so very happy with that. We've obviously got this nice big pocket down to the side. That's one side already looking quite full. So I think what we're going to do before we kind of end the video Last time we had already created this half, so I think I'm going to get this bit stuck down so that it's kind of ready to go for next time. So it's constructed in the same way, so that we've got this rounded edge. So I'm just going to fold it along that last edge, because that's the bit that needs to be stuck on here. And for that I did actually use my Beacon 3-in-1, only because it's a much stronger glue, and obviously I don't want this shifting at all. So I'm going to glue that down. Right, and then this, so again, just trying to line it up as best I can, and I want it coming quite to the edge, but I need it lined up as well. And just give that a nice big push all that down. And then obviously next time we'll be working on this side, but that's it kind of coming together. The only other thing that I've done is I've got this sort of craft coloured greeting card that I have trimmed down a little bit. This is what's going to slot into this front pocket. I think I kind of showed it last time, but I just kind of pulled it out and didn't really explain anything. But this is what's going to go into this front pocket in here. So I'm going to decorate this. Again, not entirely sure yet what's going to go on the front or what's going to come inside, but that's going to go on there and, like I say, be covered with papers and things. But yeah, so we're getting there. You can see how full this side is when we kind of close it together, but obviously once this has got its stuff in as well, this will be quite full on here too. But yeah, it's coming together. It's looking good. We've got one side pretty much done. It just needs all of the bits and pieces going inside. So the next time we'll be working on this side, and then it's getting some papers in the middle as well, because I do want a little, and it will be a thin journal, but I do want a little bit of a journal in the middle as well. But we'll see. I may have to put my journal somewhere else. I may not put it in there. Maybe I'll add a journal in this bit somewhere instead. We will see. But thank you very much for watching. That's it from me today. And yeah, I'll see you in the next crafty video. Bye for now.